Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our first night of Humblewood. I'm really excited about this. This is the first time that I'm going to be streaming a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I'm going to be a player, and actually, our DM is doing this for the very first time, and we're so excited for it. And so far, they've done an amazing job. All of our sessions are going to be pre-recorded, so you're only going to see my face at the very beginning and very end, just to kind of say hello and whatnot, kind of check in with y'all. I'll be in the chat though, so I'll be really excited to talk to you guys there while we watch it. Each session is usually takes us about 4 hours to get through, and since I don't need, figure y'all have lives during the middle of the week and everything, so we're splitting each session up into two different streaming nights. So you'll see part 1 tonight and then part 2 of our very first one. So it'll be exciting stuff. We have several different characters. I will be playing a rogue for the first time, a rogue thief named Blue, Bandicoot, Whiskey Raff, the Unmasked, and he's a little raccoon dude, or Mopach. I still haven't gotten the exact phrasing or pronunciation of that yet, but Dr. DM has it, so he'll tell you. And then, he's kind of a little spunky guy, and he gets things done, and yada yada. We have Gerald Pancakes, the Peacock, who is a bit of a himbo, but just a delight to be around. And there is also Beatrice, some kind of badger. I forget. I'm sorry, Beatrice. Hopefully, when the player gets on later, we can double check if she has a moniker of some kind after that. But any hoodles, yes, Beatrice is a badger, and very rough and tumble and she's essentially going to be our meat shield. So I'm really looking forward to that. Good badges would be a good meat shield. And then there is, of course, Berkeley. Berkeley is a possum, and Berkeley is so far going on a bit of a personal journey that we have found. So I'm going to let you guys kind of see how that goes and make it, or just kind of see for yourself. So yeah, I'm really excited. Welcome. I'm happy to get this going soon. I know that only got a couple of you guys on so far. And well, in the meantime, we could talk about my ears. I have not been able to, I got these years ago and have not gotten to show them off nearly as much. And I figure I'm going to be riding the Easter coattails. Yeah, so it's like what, technically Easter Monday? Is that what the Catholicisms do? Any hoodles. I just like being cute and part of this animal theme. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of launch into it. Dr. DM sets up the scene pretty well. We'll be checking back in later on, and enjoy, y'all.
Go ahead and move you to a different map.
Ooh.
Can we see this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So our story begins in Meadowfen. Right? Meadowfen is a mid-sized town. It's bigger than a village, but it's not quite the mighty city that is Alderheart. Meadowfen is in a unique position. It's just south of the Scorched Grove, where the various fire elemental incursion has been raging. It's also just north of the Mock Fields and Morkan Caverns, where, as legend has it, cold affinity elves and other fae have lived in the past, or at least, again, that's what the legends say. Here we see Meadowfen. Meadowfen is very much split between the more affluent bird folk and a handful of more affluent humble folk. And the poor. It is very much a farming village, fed by both the Alderheart Road that runs through it, connecting it to the main cities, as well as a river that runs from the north and into the Fay south. It has the Amaranthine Grove, that pink tree, which is both the home of the clergy as well as the leading council. Our heroes find themselves in the Amaranthine Council chamber. For some reason, there has been a bit of a hubbub, and they have been dragged bodily by one Madam Pussywillow. Madam Pussywillow is a raptor who runs the brothel Random Encounter. It is known as one of the bawdiest gambling houses in the area and tends to serve a lot of out-of-towners traveling the long road through the town. It's unclear what exactly happened, but as she drags Gerald Pancakes in by gripping the feathers of his head and kind of kicks poor Blue in front of her, she throws them to the floor of the council chamber, screaming, "I don't know how you even got the donkey in my establishment, nor do I know what you plan to do with the honeycomb, but this is not the kind of decorum in my establishment." Now, behind her are some of the other employees of the Random Encounter. Asteria Nightquill, a very fetching mapache with some possum features. There's also Bellred Magnolia. So Bellred is a servant woman working at Madame Pussywillow. She's famous for being quite dainty, and her specialty is noted as being flexible. Avhala Firetail stands right behind Madame Pussywillow. She looks, frankly, very pissed, and parts of her fur are matted with honey. She has been the right-hand woman of the madam for quite some time, and you recall from your night at the brothel that her specialty was listed as finesse. The final employee is one of the few male employees of the brothel, naked. He's broad-shouldered, barrel-chested, and really you can sum him up with the word big. He's famous for cuddling, he's famous for massages, and you remember that Madame Pussywillow didn't really advertise him as having a specialty, but you remember that someone had clearly scrawled the words "fucking" in what looks a lot like Buck's handwriting in the ledger.
I'm Buck and I like to fuck.
So they have fanned out a bit in the council chamber, looking some combination of angry and amused. The council, or at least part of the council, has emerged. The youngest member is Kareneth Icefallow. You don't know much about Karenth because, well, she is almost as new to the town as you are. You're not quite sure how she has risen so high in the ranks. But you do notice that she has a tendency to click her beak a lot when she's thinking. And you've only been there a few minutes. It's already driven you batty. In the middle is Domingo Evanflare, one of the largest bird folk you've ever seen. He has legs that are like stilts. He is very, very wealthy. He is draped in some of the gaudiest jewelry you've ever seen. And he's holding a prayer book. So it's very obvious everyone knows he has his prayer book. He worships, from what you can see on the binding, Henara, the goddess of community. Lastly is the only humble folk on the council, Kevril Hearthfire. He is incredibly old and wizened. His skin resembles nothing so much as a Chinese crested, despite the fact that he looks like he's Jerbeen. He listens to Madame Pussywillow. He frowns the entire time. And then he looks at your party and says, "Well, what is there to be done with you for? How are we to address all of these crimes? Madam Pussywillow, what was the property damage total?" She looks through a ledger and says, "This is easily going to be 5,000 gold." Kevril looks to you and says, "So, how much of this would you be able to pay up front?"
I've been getting paid via the brothel and not in coins, if you catch my drift.
Madam Pussywillow rolls her eyes and says, "We do not accept company scrip."
Blue fumbles around in his little pouch. I got this many, and holds out 10 gold coins.
Domingo squints and says, "Surely you're joking."
I got good working hands. I could try to work some of this off, but my pockets don't go any deeper, sir.
Domingo looks down at the sheaf of papers in front of him, and he begins writing. He's not even looking up, and he says, "Well, if you cannot fulfill the fine and the fees, then by the local law, the punishment is going to be imprisonment until such a time as that you can acquire the funds through labor. And so I will have the guards bring you in to escort you to the dungeons." And right as he's signing off on that, Karenth reaches out a hand and says, "I don't think that would be the most effective use." And she kind of looks over all of you and says, "Blue, you mentioned you would be willing to work. Is that correct?"
Yep.
And the rest of you, would you be willing to put in hard labor to recoup the community?
I'm always putting in hard labor.
I guess so. Hey, which kind of hard labor would this be?
Corinth looks at you like, "I am trying to throw you a bone, bro."
I am a small bird, and I'm very good at singing. Can I sing for you?
Come on, Bird Brain. How much
For
singing
money?
can you do in prison?
I'll be a jailbird. I'll do all the singing.
Corinth reaches out and touches Domingo's hand and says, "I propose that, given the recent troubles in town, instead of incarcerating them and costing the community, what if we were to assign them as special investigators to solve this problem? And should they successfully deal with it, then we let them go. No fines, no fees, no incarceration." Domingo looks back, "And what if they don't?" "Why, you can have your pick of execution or incarceration."
Wait, execution?
So Domingo looks over. Domingo looks at the four of you and says, "Would you be willing to investigate a small problem and address it in exchange for your freedom?"
Yes, please.
Excellent. So it's a minor thing. We've had a lot of sheep, goats, cattle, people that have been found dead, mostly in the outskirts of town and in the surrounding area of town, not in the heart of town. They've all had massive holes in their chest, like they've been stabbed with a massive spear. And the people who were killed, or the animals that were killed indoors, it looks like the doors or walls were just battered down. And we don't have a good idea what's going on. We've heard some rumors, but obviously we of the council can't really follow up on every rumor that we hear. So what I would recommend is talk to some of the common folk who may have had more luck seeing this, or know someone who's had animals killed to this. And if you can figure out what's killing them and stop it, we'll be all set.
What rumors have you heard? Berkeley
Oh,
freaks out. Is like,
you
what?
well, some people have said they've seen monstrous stags with these big armored folk on it. Some have said they've seen terrible wolves. Some have claimed to hear ghostly maidens wailing and screaming. Some have seen these like hairy round creatures that glowed. Just, it's so much nonsense. The hysterics of the common. Nothing really that we've been able to go off of.
I feel like that's an oversight. If people are dying, why didn't anybody go before? Like, why didn't you or have somebody else investigate before you have us do it? Like, what's going on?
Well, it's mostly been on the outskirts, so not really anything that falls under council jurisdiction. It's not in Meadowfen proper. But it would be nice to have some closure, just to make sure it doesn't incur into the city, which is where you would come in.
Sounds like some bureaucratic bullshit you need us to clear up.
Its status is bullshit. Makes no difference to me. It's either the bullshit or the gallows, and I really have no preference either way.
You want to kill us over a bar fight? That's what I find strange.
Blue just puts his hand over his eyes and kind of shrieks and then yells like, "We'll do it! We'll fucking do it! Just come on, guys! They're giving us it out. Let's just give it a try." Like,
I've cleaned up my fair bullshit. If it's what's gonna make you happy, I'll do it.
It's either that, they literally said the gallows. Just let's get our shit together and fucking try it, friends.
Karen jumps in.
Pancakes. Yeah. Oh wait.
Karen jumps in and she's like, "Oh, Domingo, you are so dramatic. There's no need to threaten these people. They are clearly open to working off their fee to avoid incarceration." And Domingo just grumbles and says, "Are we done? Do you agree?"
I think so.
Yes.
I agree.
You just want us to find out what happened.
Well, find out who's responsible and put an end to it.
You want their head?
I want you to put an end to it. And he kind of winks, which looks weird on a bird. He's like, "I would never order murder, but I do hope that it can be resolved so the murders cease."
Okay.
So
All
Domingo and Carenth skedaddle. Keverell says, "I'll draft up the contract to make sure that all parties understand that should you successfully complete this duty, you are fine." And You've never seen a contract quite like this before. Everything is written out exactly as Corinth said. There's nothing shady. But what's really interesting is not only does he write down your names, he actually does a quick sketch of each of you and then writes down where you were last before you entered Meadowfen. It's very, very detailed. He shows you the contract with your portraits and your names and the details. He's like, "Is this to your satisfaction?"
Excuse me, you didn't get my eyes quite right. You forgot that little glimmer of mystery. It's very important.
I will try to capture your mystery. And he like squints, and you see him hastily like erasing and redrawing. There's almost 2 holes now where your eyes were in the paper. So you look easily 200% more evil than you previously did.
I'm not certain Beatrice can read. So like maybe like signs and stuff. So I look at the paper and I'm like, that's a pretty picture. And I hand it back.
Yes, we include portraits, so it's clear who's referred to, and we have references should someone go missing, nor should we have to have a bandit poster. It just fulfills so many needs at once. I'm sure with all of you, this is just a precaution that won't be needed. I know that Domingo, he's a bit young and a bit foolhardy, but he really does have the best interests of the community at heart. And I'm sure that this will be a simple matter. So we all at the council appreciate your efforts. I would recommend going to the Cold Queen Tavern. It's just in the center of town, not even 5 minutes from the council chambers, but they hear whispers from all over and can probably tell you a few more of the rumors. As council members, we don't patronize taverns, appearances. And with that, he rolls up the contract, he sticks it in his pouch, and he walks very painfully slowly to the steps to go down.
I kind of like crack my knuckles. And I'm
You
like,
almost said nipples.
Yes, I almost did. Crack my nipples.
That's way more intimidating. I'm just
Right?
And I'm like, ugh. Off from one bar fight on to the next.
I like taverns. Taverns are my favorite.
I'm so confused. How did I end up in the wrong place at the wrong time?
I kind of like,
It's okay, buddy. I do that all the time.
I clap Berkeley on the back and say, "It's all right, buddy. Let's get a drink."
Berkeley winces a little, and like, cause I'm squishy.
I'm really big.
I'm very squishy, and I go, drinking is not my thing.
Well, let's get you a lemonade.
It helps to have at least one pair of sober eyes. Woo, let's go.
Yay, tavern!
So we're going to the tavern?
Yes.
We
Begrudgingly.
are going
Begrudgingly.
to the tavern.
Begrudgingly going to this tavern.
All right. Well, welcome to the Cold Queen Tavern. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
It's
So-
blackness.
Can you it's all blackness?
I can see the tavern.
Try scrolling
me-
or zooming in or out.
Yeah.
Still blackness.
Okay, let me
I can see everything.
I can see it.
I
Let me
will
see
imagine
here.
it.
Let's see. It's Beatrice, huh?
And Beatrice.
Sterile pancakes.
All right. I think we can
Yay, I found it. Or I see it now.
Okay. I think we can leave that off for now. So welcome to the Cold Queen Tavern. As you enter the main doors, in front of you, you see stairs going up. To the left, you see two barkeepers working in concert. Further away, you see what looks to be a really young bird folk who's cleaning up tables, talking to patrons. In front of the fire, you see what looks like a really haggard old gerbine. And off in the corner, looking shady as hell, is what looks like a Vulpin foxfolk.
Ooh.
Ooh. Let's see, I could use a drink, guys. Jail Pancakes is gonna just run up to the bar real quick.
You should be able to move your tokens by clicking and dragging. Yeah!
Hello, bartender.
Oh, it's gonna cock block you.
Flip the raven.
I am literally.
So
I'm a peacock.
So you are greeted by the Luma bartenders, Mara and Trevon Sombreak.
Aw,
Aw.
cute.
So you notice that Trevon is cleaning glasses and he's singing like these silly made-up songs as he's working. So he's like, gotta clean my glasses, gotta clean them good. So he's just singing to himself. Mara every once in a while looks over her shoulder at him and just smiles and shakes her head like, oh, I love him. This is the man that I married. And Mara walks up to you and says, welcome to the Cold Queen Tavern. What would you like?
Gerald Pancakes is gonna start harmonizing with the other guy.
Trevon is delighted. Like now he's banging his cup really gently on the counter to make a beat. Like you're improvising the most glorious song about doing dishes that has ever graced the tavern.
So Berkeley's very uncomfortable because bars and things are not their thing. So I'm gonna look around and to see just what patrons are there really.
So you see just a handful of people. It's surprisingly early in the morning.
Okay.
Probably because you were in the brothel very late. So there's not a ton of patrons. You do see the fox in the corner. You do see the mouse by the fireplace. You do see the little bird girl up. There's also a handful of other patrons. Largely they're humble folk. You see a handful of hedges. You see a handful of servants. And they're all just eating breakfast. And it's a very carby breakfast. You're getting the idea that this is where travelers and farmers come to get a really good big meal before they have to go do a big task.
Do any of the people in the tavern look like, I guess like more like farmers, really?
Look like what?
Look more like farmers. Basically someone that the type of people we're looking for, I guess.
Yeah, there's some farmers there.
Okay.
Or your best guess of farmer. They have what looks like, poor clothes. They have rough hands. There's some dirt caking their nails. You see that there's some sun bleaching on the tops of their head. That's probably from working in the sun.
So I think I want to get through whatever this is as quickly as possible because I don't want to do it. I want to go find a farmer and see what I can find out.
There's a farmer dining at the middle table.
Okay.
Up here. He's having some eggs and big slabs of bread and a couple pieces of bacon.
Okay. My charisma is not very high, but as we see, drink apparently brings people together, so I think I'll buy a drink and take it to the farmer.
So, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
So you're walking up to the farmer with a beverage. What kind of beverage are we talking about?
Ale
Okay.
that I'll pay for.
All right. So as you walk over, the farmer kind of slows down as he's eating and looks up at you.
I'm gonna close my eyes and like put the mug of ale out and be like, I have some questions for you.
He stops chewing, then he chews and swallows, and he looks at you and he goes, well, I think the first thing that I ought to tell you is that I'm married.
I'm like side-eyeing this interaction, and I'm like, I gotta get me one of those big breakfasts.
I mean, there is a waitress
Yeah.
walking around. So the farmer said, there's plenty of tables. You don't have to sit here, but if you really want to, I'm happy to share.
So
is he's saying that just to Berkeley, right?
Yeah, because Berkeley's standing there awkwardly with beer.
I drop the I put the mug down and I sit down. I go and I try to collect myself really quickly. I go, you're a farmer, right?
Son of the soil.
We've heard. Do you have cattle that died?
Death is a part of life.
No.
All cattle die eventually.
Like, in a weird way, like maybe they ended up with holes in them?
Oh, no. None of mine did. I heard about that nonsense down south. I sent all of my cattle in to be slaughtered and sold, because if anyone's killing them, it's gonna be me. No, it started off real far to the south, and it's been moving closer and closer north to the city. They're mutilated. And he pauses and looks at you because he wants you to be impressed that he knows the word mutilated. And then he goes back. Yeah, it's some sick business. Someone out there killing all the animals with big holes in their chests. And they've caught a few men too. Travelers coming to the city from the south. Big mistake.
Do you know anyone who... Do you know anyone specifically this has happened to, or you just heard it through the grapevine?
I've heard from the grapevine that a lot of people have been losing animals lately, but the one I know myself, that's Morrow. He's lost at least 4 animals to this. I think it's because he's the furthest south. He's the closest to the trouble. He's down to half his goats, half his milch goats. He's in for a rough summer.
Okay. Berkeley just claps him on the shoulder, and they take a really big sigh, and they're like, "Thanks for the information. You can have that beer. I'm leaving now."
He kind of looks at the beer and looks at you like, that poor possum's got a drinking problem. And then he just goes back to his bacon
I just waddle away because that's the worst I've ever felt in my life. I've never been so humiliated by my own antics.
Nice. Jail Pancakes is being completely useless right now. He's on top of the bar now, hanging away with the bartender.
Mara looks
becoming best friends.
exasperated, but Trevon is like, there's hardly anyone here.
I asked Mara for the biggest breakfast she could make me.
Mara's delighted. She's like, let me go in the back. She goes, I will make you the biggest breakfast we have. And if you can talk the bird from the counter, I'm going to give you an extra rasher of bacon, but no commotions.
Oh.
And she
I have my hand out like I'm ready to grab pancakes and like yank them onto the seat. And then she says no commotion, and I'm like, oh, and I like
got so much harder.
I'm like, I can.
Hey, if you reach your hand out to him, he'll grab your hand and start dancing with you.
Oh God. I'm like, I can do this.
So the young little bird folk walks up. She just has a beaming smile on her face, and she walks in between Berkeley and Blue, and says, "Hi, I'm Colleen. I am happy to take your order. Is there anything else that you'd like today? I noticed that your friend ordered our Big Slam breakfast. We do have enough to make 2 more."
Yeah, okay, it sounds like we're gonna be at it for a while anyhow.
We get so many hard workers here at the Cold Queen. I am more than happy to put in your order. Just sit still. Are you paying by cash, or do you have some sort of credit with the council?
I will credit the council.
Credit with the council. Put it on the council's tab. Yeah, that's what we do all the time.
That is such a popular answer. I'm going to go ahead and put your order in. Welcome again to the Cold Queen Inn.
Well, thank you very much, miss.
I'm giving Pancakes the eyeball, like, get off the counter, I'm gonna strangle you. Does he notice me?
Yeah, Jail Pancakes thinks you're super into him right now.
Pancakes, I need you to get off the counter, or I will eat all of your snacks.
That's okay. I live off of attention. Attention is my food.
God fucking damn it. I need you to get off the counter, or I will strangle you outside.
Okay. He jumps onto a stool.
So
he kind of folds his wings together, right? And looks down.
So Trevon leans forward and is just, it has been so long since we've had some proper barding in this tavern. You are welcome, especially if you know how to play that big piano over there. And he kind of thumbs to the south. You are welcome to come in and work. I find you delighting. And Mara comes in. Did we lose somebody? We lost somebody.
Who did we lose?
Hannah.
Oh no.
Hannah, come back. You can blame it all on me.
Her internet pops out sometimes. That was really adorable.
That's really adorable.
Oh, man.
Hannah, come back. Wait.
Berkeley lives in mortal fear right now. This is the last place they ever want.
All right, woo. So Trevon
accidentally quit.
So Trevon is complimenting Gerald Pancakes. Mara comes out of the kitchen bearing 2 plates, a big grand slam, and then a smaller plate that's just a side of bacon. She looks at Pancakes, then she looks at Beatrice, nods, and puts both plates in front of Beatrice. Colleen comes out.
Supremely proud of myself right now.
Like, Mara is super happy. She doesn't know that you did it through violence. Colleen comes right after, and she goes, I have the next two, Mom. And then she puts the two plates in front of Berkeley and Blue and says, I really, really hope you enjoy your breakfast. We hope to see you again soon. And then she goes back to moving amongst the tables.
Berkeley's looking confused because they feel like, when the fuck did I order breakfast? Like, what?
Mara kind of shakes her head and goes, our daughter is a little overeager to learn the family business. Enjoy your breakfast, mister. We'll just cover it on our tab, and I'll make sure that she pays more attention to ordering in the future.
It's not Mr.
They kind of cock their head. I'm so sorry. What would you like us to call you?
Berkeley's fine.
Well, welcome to the Cold Queen, Berkeley. We're happy to have you here anytime.
I'm
You.
Blue draws upon his previous bandit information and tries to clock the shady character in the corner. Should I roll perception?
Roll insight.
Okay. Boop.
So you don't get a sense of whether this is a malicious presence, but you have noted that he has been staring at you since you've entered the bar. He's been staring at the group, just watching.
I kind of turn and nudge to Beatrice and give him the old elbow.
Oh, yeah. See the guy? You see that little foxy over there?
yeah. I'm shoving food in my mouth, just like really focusing on the food right now.
Okay. Blue.
But I say yeah, like I respond. I say yeah.
Yeah. Blue shakes his head. So,
Okay, I don't know. He seemed to be staring at it. We'll see how. But pancakes seem to go right on up, so I guess we'll see if they're friend or foe.
I kind of like look over my shoulder, like, and I look at Blue and I say, should I stare back real hard?
Not yet.
So what's Gerald Pancakes doing since he's right next to this fox friend?
Oh, he is. He has gone over to the piano. He has never played the piano before. But he's going to give it his best shot.
Oh, God.
Just be like,
This is the best
Roll performance.
Touch the piano, plank, plank, plank.
Roll
It's a
performance.
little harder than it looks. Blink, blink.
Roll.
Am I rolling? All right, D20.
You should have performance in your character sheet. So if you
Oh.
open your character sheet and then click on performance, it should roll with your proficiencies and whatnot.
Ooh.
I thought you meant you rolled a 20. I was like, what the
Oh, no.
No.
Okay, so do I click on performance?
Yeah.
Okay,
All
what
right.
happened?
Despite your best efforts, you actually make a stirring rendition of Chopsticks.
Yay.
It sounds like you actually meant to play that. And the fox kind of
I'm just
sidles.
great at everything. I don't know.
The fox kind of sidles up to you and leans in and goes, "Hey, right in
Hello.
your ear.
Ooh,
Word
there.
has it you just came down from the council chamber.
How did you know that?
I hear things. I'm a Vulpine. We got big ears. Anywho,
Oh,
word says you may have been one of the saps they're sending down south. Am I right?
Maybe.
Well, I have a business proposition for you. I represent a merchant in town named Jocelyn Pointy Britches.
Oh, I love that name.
You can call me Nix.
Hello, Nix. I am Gerald Pancakes.
Well, I represent the interests of Jocelyn Pointy Britches. She's a hedge on the other side of town, and she has a problem down south. See,
You know,
there's
somebody-
a barrow mound down south. It's a pilgrimage area. It's the tomb of Sir Childe.
You don't say. I just had a dream about a burial mound, like last night.
That is incredibly
Guys, you
creepy for you to
guys!
say. Well,
Will starts waving his wings around at everybody else. Hey guys!
well, she's a descendant of Sir Childe, and as a descendant, his belongings are her inheritance, and she is looking to collect. And anyone that can bring his ring or his sword to her stands to get a mighty fine sum. And if she's willing to put up a few thousand gold pieces for the return of the sword and the ring.
What does this Lady Pointy Bridges look like?
She's a hedge, so she's pointy and she wears breeches.
Does she wear the color white often?
No, she wears flannel for some reason I don't understand.
Oh, well, that's an unfortunate fashion choice, but that's okay. Okay, let me go find my friends, and they might be interested in this proposition too.
So I'm gonna send you a whisper, Hannah.
Okay.
All right, so you should see the whisper in the chat.
Okay.
So should I tell her that you might be interested in earning a few thousand gold?
Perhaps. I don't know. We have this whole thing where we're supposed to look for like dead bodies and see who's making the dead bodies, and
well, you know where there's a lot of dead bodies, a barrow mound where they put dead bodies.
you're
If you're in the area, I'm just saying, right there for the plucking. You just come back here, ask for old Nix Nash, or go to Jocelyn.
Okay. So Gerald Pancakes is gonna go find his buddies because we're all best friends now.
We're all best friends now.
And relay what he just heard as best as he can. He might forget some details, like the names. There's this pointy lady, and she'll give us money if we look at this place with all the dead people.
I feel like. And then Berkeley just kind of shakes their head and is like, I think we just need to focus on the problem at hand, which is whatever is killing these things.
Well, you know, the burial mound is probably a good place to come across all the dead bodies.
Or
there might be mourners.
We could talk to Marrow, who is a farmer, whose goats, who's down to half their goats.
Oh.
We need to find out how.
I mean, you don't know if it was half. It could have been, 70% of his goats were left, or 30. You don't know how bad the thing that killed them was.
Right.
And also there's money this way. You get money.
Blue's ears perk up.
Money's great, but being in jail is worse. Do you
But we owe
how
them
that's
money.
worse?
Blue gets up and skedaddles over to the
box that says, "Hi, my friend here, my friend over there says that he talked to you, but seems to be missing some details. Can we go over a few things because we might be interested."
Nix looks at you and says, "You all a happy band?"
A band?
You know, working together.
Yeah, we kind of ended up being here, so we're banded.
So he nods and he gives you a very similar rundown. He says, Jocelyn Pointy Breeches is the descendant of Sir Chide. His burial mound is down to the south. And if someone can fetch the sword and ring and bring it back to Jocelyn, as is her due, is her inheritance, she's willing to pay 1,000 for the ring and 1,000 for the sword.
All right. Well, we do still have this whole imprisonment thing to avoid, so we'll do our best. We'll keep an eye out, and yeah, we are still trying to stay out of prison.
Paying off your fine is a good way to stay out of prison.
Oh, shit, there you go. All right. Oh, well, then. It was a pleasure following up with some details here. Thank you very much. And then he skedaddles on over back to his friends. Okay, guys, I got a few more details, and it'll help and Blue shares the actual names of things and such. And it's like, Berkeley, I know that, you're not exactly sure about it, but we can at least try. A couple extra 1,000 gold pieces could really help.
Okay.
If we're going south, I'm clearly thinking really hard about this. If we're going south and we're looking for dead bodies, and this is south and has dead bodies, it seems like 2 birds with 1 stone. No offense, Pancake.
What? What about birds and stones? We're in a tavern.
It's we need to go south and find dead bodies, and this needs to go south and find dead bodies. I think it's the same mission with 2 rewards.
It's.
Hey guys, can we circle up real quick? I want to whisper something to you. Stay.
Are we doing a group huddle right now?
I think we are, yeah.
It is very important.
It's really effortful for me to get in the huddle because I'm so big, but I'm trying really hard.
Well, I'm really little, so you can hover over me.
There's another reason I want to go to the burial mound. I've been having dreams lately, and my one true love showed me this mound in my dreams.
Well, that sounds like a personal thing.
There's this ring in there, and it's hers. And I want to give it to her because I love her.
Did Berkeley?
It's important. Very important, you guys.
Okay. Are you in love with the exact same lady friend we're getting? You know what? I don't even care. Let's go.
Are you in love with
I'm just staring blankly,
for true love.
True love. Great. Okay.
So.
Why are we all so stupid?
Speak for yourself there.
This mystery is going to be way more complicated than I expected because everyone has negative int modifiers.
Right, I was just well, what's my int? I've got a 1. So Berkeley is sitting here in a cold sweat and is clearly realizing that they're in way over their fucking head and now wants to yeet themselves into the stratosphere. But I think you are right, Badger. they're both south. So if we travel there, we're gonna hit one first. But first, we have to figure out where the fuck this farmer is. Cause I'm dumb and totally didn't ask where to find this guy.
I don't think you're dumb.
He's still there. You can follow up.
I
True.
think some. Yep. What's
So
her face? Badger face is
how
gone.
quietly are you talking?
As best as Gerald can whisper. He's not fantastic at it, but he thinks he is.
So Mara and Trevon have been working behind the bar, and they see this like struggle huddle going on.
Oh no.
Struggle huddle.
And Mara just kind of cocks her head and says, "Is everything all right? There's nothing wrong with your
Yep,
food,
yep.
is there?"
Oh no, it's fine. We're just giving some moral support to our friends here. You know, sometimes you just gotta cuddle huddle and make your friends feel good.
Berkeley is trying to make it like, I guess, just like they're like sitting there trying not to be part of this group. They're trying their very hardest to like wish it away. Like, maybe this is a
We're
bad
best friends.
dream.
Miss Badger McBadgerface's computer passed out.
Uh-oh. And that's where I had cut it. And that's where I had cut it a little bit ago. So there wasn't actually a technical problem. Sorry, actually, until just then when I was trying to bring this all together. And no, we're all good. And so we're just going to take a little break and come back at 8:15 and pick back up for the last half hour. So I hope to see you all then. Bye. Or see you soon. 5-minute warning. We will be back in 5 minutes. 8:15 is the goal. See you soon. Last chance for bio break. You got 2 minutes left. Check your system. How you feeling? Have you drank enough water today? Do you need to run to the bathroom right now because I've been talking about your bladder? Do you have enough chocolate? I got myself some chocolate. Just a little bit. Right back. All right, welcome back. And we are going to dive in for the last chunk of today's session. And then we'll close out with a little kind of after chat. See how everyone's feeling after it. So hope you enjoy the rest, and let's get back to it.
All right.
Sweet.
So when last we left, Berkeley was very uncomfortable. Pancakes was very oblivious. Blue was very excited. And Beatrice mildly confused. We've been discussing, where do we go from here? We know the vague direction of these places, but not necessarily exact locations, addresses.
So I feel like in order to appease Gerald Pancakes is dream whatever and everybody's lust of money. I feel like we're gonna just have to do both, and whichever happens first is the one we do first, and then we do the other one.
Yay!
But I need to figure out. I need to go back and talk to the nice farmer and find out where his friend lives. So I'm gonna have to go psych myself up and go talk to this man again.
Do you need more ale?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, let me get you one. Bartender friend, best friend. Can I have an ale?
Mara is delighted. Says, I would be happy to. I will put it on the tab with the council. And which kind of ale would you like? We have many to choose from.
What's your best one?
Oh, I think our best one is probably the Witch's Kiss. It's an IPA. It's incredibly bitter, but the hoppiness is not too grassy. It's what I would personally recommend.
You know, that sounds fantastic. I will go with that. Thank you for the suggestion.
She pours a big O ale and slides it across the bar to you, and then she calls out to Colleen, saying to mark it on the ledger for the bill they'll send to the council.
Okay, so Berkeley, they pick up the mug and close their eyes and like kind of psych themselves up mentally as they start walking back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought we heard you earlier.
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I can hear
I
you.
thought we replied. Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
Now I can hear you. Kind of quiet, but
So yeah, Berkeley picks up the mug and is like, "All right, I'm gonna do this," and like walks back over to the poor gentleman they accosted earlier with all their questions, and goes, "One more thing," and like drops down the ale.
Oh, can you roll strength?
Yes. You roll for strength. So if I go into my character sheet,
If you go into your character sheet and click on strength in the leftmost column, the word, it should roll just a pure strength roll.
leftmost column.
So where you have the big numbers, if you click strength under your stat sheet.
Are you still on your spell page, maybe?
No, I'm
I bet
not.
that-
I'm on the main one, and I see.
So if you're on the core, right next to inspiration, and right if you click on the word strength, it'll highlight red when you hover over it. If you click on it, it should allow you to roll just a pure strength roll.
Okay.
Okay, you managed to place the mug down without breaking anything, despite your haste. It is loud enough that the farmer kind of startles and looks at you and says, "You again?"
I'm sorry. I just have one more question for you. It is very, like, Berkeley is very visibly flustered because this is so very out of their element.
You should perhaps drink some of that. You're a nervous fellow.
Where does your friend live?
Morrow, you mean?
Yes, the one whose goats are dying.
He kind of looks, he's like, "You ain't gonna cause trouble, are you?"
No. My friends and I like point to this motley crew at the bar, like, we're trying to fix that problem. I like try to give like a smile.
So he's delighted. he reaches out and grabs your hand and kind of pulls you forward and shakes it, and he's like, "The Amerthine bless you. Bless all of you for looking into us. That council, they don't give two shakes of a rat's ass for us down south and us poor farmers, and look at you coming to help out." Well, and he sketches out for you directions to Morrow's farm.
Oh,
And it's about a day's walk south.
okay.
So you're gonna be if you leave early in the morning, you should get there late afternoon, early evening. It is outside of the city.
Mm-hmm. And then Berkeley just kind of nods and smiles and is like, "And your name? I never asked."
My name's Hitch.
Hitch. And then Berkeley kind of like tentatively puts a paw on their shoulder and is like, "Thank you. We'll try and fix this as quickly as possible."
You catch that little son of a, and we're all square here with you.
And they smile and they go, "Thank you," and like just gets up and awkwardly tries to look really cool while they're walking back, but they're just like, "Oh my god." So they sit down and they go, "Okay," and they pull out the map and show everybody.
Oh,
What's
okay.
that? That looks like a nice picture.
Don't draw on it.
Gerald puts away his pen.
Like he was gonna sign it.
Yes. Clearly,
So-
this needs my name because my name is the best.
And then Berkeley just kind of like slaps their feathers away, like, "Okay, so it's south and it's about a day's walk.
Yay, south.
More
I think-
south, all right.
I think pursuing this and clearing our debt first before getting more money is our best bet."
Well, it's all south, so we can add it to our list of side quests.
We have a to-do list.
Yay.
I mean, yeah, sure seems like it. And then one more thing. And he hops up and he's been clocking this one guy over by the fireplace. And boop. Can I roll insight on whether I recognize that person or not?
Yeah.
Or animal creature thing?
Yeah. So Blue, you've seen this guy before.
Mm-hmm. Golly, I hope we ended on good terms because I ran right up to him.
So you recognize that as Harold, good old Harold Callan. He's in kind of filthy, dirty robes. He looks a bit haggard. And he has no idea that you're there because Harold is completely deaf. And he also doesn't speak because he never learned how. He was deaf from a childhood accident and he never speaks, but he does know how to write. So he is warming himself on the fire. His tin can is about halfway filled with some copper coins that he got from begging outside. And Mara and Trevon have always had an open door policy that he's welcome to sleep on the ground floor of the inn at night and warm himself up. And whatever's left at the end of the day, they usually let him have a few scraps. So he's here a lot.
Do I know? Do I just know of him, or have I potentially had some kind of interaction with him before?
You've certainly seen him before. Have you thrown money into his tin cup before?
Yeah, probably, because he has a top spot for underdogs.
So, if you've ever thrown money in his cup, Harold knows you. Harold likes you. Harold remembers you. He does have a little chalkboard, only about the size of 2 hands put together, that he wears around his neck like a pendant. And that's primarily how he communicates. So he's just sitting by the fire, lost in his own thought.
Okay, I'm gonna take a copper piece and drop it in his cup, and very carefully grab his hands and put it up to my bandana thingy so that he knows kind of who I am.
Well, he's deaf. He's not blind, so
Oh yeah,
he
deaf.
thinks it's very odd. He kind of tilts his head to the side, and right before he gets to your tinted fur, he kind of resists a bit, pulls his hands back, and he looks down and he takes out his chalkboard and he writes on his chalkboard, and he writes, oh no, don't have me. I'm saying this in a whisper to you, okay? He writes on the chalkboard and he holds it up to you and says, oh. So that's the first thing he shows you. And then he hastily wipes it with his sleeve. And you notice that sleeve is almost caked white. He's done this perhaps for years. And then he scribbles that and he holds it up to you. And you get the impression that the only reason why he wrote that second message to you is because you've been kind to him. And this is kind of a, we have an understanding, you helped me, I'll help you.
Nice. Blue nods and does a little bow. It's like,
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, bud.
and I asked, or I shrug my shoulders like,
Why?
So he looks at you for a minute and then he kind of holds his hand up and makes the motion like he's drinking. And he kind of cocks his head like, is that what you're asking me about?
And I nod.
And he writes that and shows it to you.
Oh. All right.
Well, he Blue then, once again bows again and waves frantically and says,
Bye, old friend.
and then skedadders off back to the his friends.
He smiles and nods. You've helped him out immeasurably.
Alrighty, guys. Well, how's our meals? Are we almost done here? There were some big good ones.
My plate is licked clean at this
Nice.
point.
I am full of attention, so I'm happy.
Hey, cool. Well, alright, well, I got to see an old friend real quick, and yeah, that was a fun surprise. So, if there's anything else we need to do, we could do it, or I guess we try skedaddling.
Let's skedaddle.
For skedaddling?
Berkeley takes one last look around to see if they can gather, if they see maybe other farmers or just anyone really that would be of note to talk to, should I roll a perception or?
Yeah, roll a perception.
Okay. And that would be under intelligence?
If you look on
wisdom.
It should be just.
There's a straight up perception skill.
Okay.
So if you go on your character sheet, it's on the left on the core. You'll have your stats on the furthest left. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
You see other patrons there. You can't discern if they are farmers or not.
Okay.
They might be, they might not be. You do see Mara and Trevon and Colleen, and you know that they are kind of pillars of the community. Everybody eats here. Everyone travels through here. So they are available to speak with you, or you could approach the strangers and straight up ask, are y'all farmers?
I'm gonna go with the safe bet, and I'm gonna reach into my pouch and I'm gonna pull out a gold coin. And I'm gonna wave over Mara or Trevon, whoever basically I can catch their attention first.
You're kind of the only people ordering right now, so they both walk over, and they are a disgustingly cute couple. Like, he's got an arm around her, and she's kind of resting her head on his shoulder. And Trevon says, "Your gold's as good as any here. What would you like?"
So I put it down and I go, okay, so what have you heard about these monsters that have been killing animals and people? I heard Morrow has lost a fair few of goats.
Yeah, his expression just goes real sad, real quick, and he's like, "Yeah, it's been a really hard time for our farmers. There's been a lot. I don't think we know about all of them in town because not everyone here is a citizen of Marrowfen. It seems like the further south you go, the worse it gets." And he kind of chuckles to himself. He's like, "It's kind of funny because the further north you go, the worse it gets with the fire snakes."
Fire snakes?
Here we are.
There's fire snakes?
I love fire snakes.
He says up north is the Scorched Grove. There's been fire elemental incursions. It's forbidden for us to travel north. And here we are stuck in the middle in Marrowfen. Well, down south, it seems like we're seeing more and more animals, and a few families have reported their loved ones have been killed, to the point where those families have actually packed up and left. People are starting to leave the town, and if those farmers die or leave, this town will die.
I guess, has anybody seen anything? I mean, other than
everybody claims to have seen things.
Okay.
We've had I don't think there's anyone here. He leans over and goes, "Hitch, did you lose anything to them beasts?" And Hitch goes, "Nah, Morrow did." And he looks back and is like, "There's no one here that has seen it firsthand." And he kind of rifles through some papers under his desk or under the bar counter, and he shows you. And he's like, we did get a few people sketch what they saw, and it's a wide variety of things. You see, there's a picture of a giant dog with spines all over its body, almost like a hedgehog and a wolf had a baby. You see a horse made of fire with a giant set of spikes coming out of its head like a rhinoceros.
Mhm.
You see a bat made out of centipedes. You see a boulder with glowing eyes made out of fur. And he goes, I can't make heads or tails of this.
They're
We know
all super
people are
cool.
dying.
So, in my, when I look at these drawings, DM, would I recognize anything from like any like religion or like does it
Make
make
a nature check.
Okay.
You think all of those are super plausible. You 100% think those are all real things. You've never seen them before, but you're sure that they could exist.
Okay. Berkeley pauses for a second and says, "Can I take these drawings with me? I promise I'll bring them back when we're done. I just maybe we can find something else out about them."
Trevon kind of pauses because he says, "Man, those are kind of dear. They're the only copies that we have. We're kind of the only people keeping records of this stuff because the council isn't."
Ooh. Gerald Pancakes raises his wing.
Yes?
Can I try copying the drawings?
Trevon says, "You're the artist," and he slides over some blank parchment and a quill to you.
Okay. Gerald Pancakes pulls out that pen that he put away earlier and some parchment and gives it his best shot. Should I roll for skills?
Yeah, let me think on the skill for a second here.
Okay.
No.
It's the doodle skill.
Roll performance for me.
Okay.
Best shot.
How'd I do? Oh, shit.
It's like you're seeing double. It's like a photocopy if a photocopier existed in this world. Trevon nudges his wife and goes, "He's like you!" And she blushes, which is very hard to see on a bird. And she's like, "Oh, stop, Trevon." And he goes, "Two amazing artists. It must run in bird folk."
We're
That
very
is
impressive
amazing.
people.
Very what?
We're very impressive people.
So Berkeley is gonna take the copies of the drawings and like carefully like tuck them away into like their little like pack.
Wait. Did I get a chance to sign the drawings? It's very important.
Did already?
Okay.
Does that require a deception check?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It'd be your deception versus his insight.
Okay. Oh Jesus.
Okay.
So Pancakes roll insight, Berkeley roll deception.
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Let's see, my character sheet's still loading. Okay, insight starts with an I. Did I roll a 20?
Yeah,
Mhm.
you rolled a nat 20.
So
Give me them papers.
Gerald sees right through you and snatches that back. Describe your signature for me, please.
It is very loopy.
Much flourish.
Much flourish.
All right. Yeah, that is
Betty.
you signed the hell out of that.
And once Gerald finishes signing his ostentatious Sure, I'm gonna take it and carefully tuck it back in and give them their gosh, I already forgot their names. Mara and Trevon their originals back, and thank you. We'll figure something out. But do you have any I guess, do you have any insight to where we're going? Like, is there something we should know other than the fact that people might be dying, or people are dying, really?
I know the council likes to brag about how prosperous the city is. We have had issues for a while. We've had strange things happen to travelers. So be careful when you head south. Not necessarily violence. The violence is new, but there's been odd things
Like
around town lately.
Like what?
We've had travelers come in swearing there's been ghosts.
Ghosts?
I don't believe in any ghosts, but I can surely handle any kind of violence.
Well, that's the strangest thing. The ghosts ain't violent.
What do you mean? They're not violent.
They just play tricks.
Like,
Beatrice doesn't really believe in ghosts, so it's kind of like tuned out. Like, okay, yeah, ghosts, whatever.
Well, mixing people up when they're traveling so they go the wrong way. They turn all the water in their wineskins to vinegar so they can't drink while they're gone. No violence.
Anything
Sounds like some travelers got a little turned around and confused and didn't want to take the blame for their own stupidity.
Maybe. There's always a few like that who come through here, and the road sorts them out well enough, but...
Anything more sinister than that? I mean, not that ghosts aren't a problem, I'm just saying that... Is there bandits we should be aware of? Or, like, I don't know.
How familiar are you? Can you roll a history check?
Yes, I can do that.
Blue just kind of chuckles to himself.
You said history check?
About the bandits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Blue.
Fuck.
Out of character question, do me and Blue have a history? Do we know each other pretty well?
Yeah, we have 3 Mapatch. I don't want to assume you all know each other.
Well, so I know that me and Pancakes know each other because he's in the brothel all the time. But Blue frequents the brothel too, right?
I mean, yeah, and he's kind of hard to ignore with all the chittering.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if we have like a camaraderie already or if I'm kind of like, who are these people?
I am simply at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, Berkeley, you're going to love this. So Berkeley, you know that the village guard has been very effective at routing out bandits. Bandits have not been an issue here. The only other thing that has the potential for trouble is that you have heard of the cult of one who reaches.
Okay.
And when you mention the cult of one who reaches, Trevon kind of shudders and says, "Those creepy bastards. We don't like them in our town, but they don't cause any trouble."
So they frequent here.
They come through.
Do they come to this tavern?
We don't let them in our tavern anymore.
Oh. What did they do?
I don't know what they did. But the last time they came through, the well went sour, and we haven't been able to draw water from the river since the grove was scorched. It's all ashy. So our only source of clean water for the last 2 weeks has this weird taint to it. I didn't see them do anything to it, but there's something wrong with that well. And it happened the day they arrived.
Blue kind of perks up.
Where is this well located?
It's right outside the tavern, town square.
Oh.
Right past it on your way in.
I'm like, is it to the south?
It's the way we're going.
Well, it's right outside the tavern, so I think no matter any door you leave, it's going to be on your way.
Okay. I wrote south when you said that in my notes instead of sour.
Everything south.
Everything.
Beatrice is trying real hard to be smart, but it's hard for her.
The attempt was made.
Right. You know, maybe I'll take a look at it when we come back, and maybe I can help out. I don't know.
Blue
So
kind of
we're
looks
adding
over
another
at
thing to our to-do list, is what you're telling me.
Blue kind of like, okay, so my friend, like there might be something to it, cause my friend over there, mentioned that there's something in there singing, and don't drink the water. So I don't know what could be singing, but if it happened at the same time, I mean,
It's not me, right?
you had some ale, babe, there. Yeah, I was kind of wondering, Berkeley, if you had anything other than just buying other people ale, like a friend.
No.
Okay, good. All right. Well, that's something. Thank you very much for the insight. We'll put on our honey-do list.
I like honey.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, I know you like to get sticky.
I do not understand the sexual reference at all. I'm
We just
like,
had a honey. That's how we met. Was through
Oh,
honey.
that's right.
We had the honeycomb. You didn't know what I was about to do with the honeycomb, though.
No, I thought we were eating honeycomb.
I love how everyone has a different interpretation of what was about to go down. Like, for all you know, you were going to have sex with a honeycomb and eat the donkey. You don't know.
Look, either way, honey is very sticky. I know that much. Like, no matter what we were trying, it's probably all over everything. All right.
All right. Well, I think what time of day is it right now, DM?
So right now it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. You've spent maybe 45 hour in the inn, pestering the locals.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have two choices, guys. We could leave now and we've got a good,
Let's go
day.
Well,
We could gather more information and then go tomorrow morning early.
I'm up for whatever, as long as we go to the mound at some point.
Well,
Yes.
I suppose if we went tomorrow, then that would also give us some time to, maybe check out the shops and see if there's anything for us to stock up on, or, well, hell, I guess keep adding to our honey-do list. They never really gave us a time deadline thing, did they? They just kind of said, get it done.
Yes.
True.
That is an accurate recollection.
Alrighty, well,
It's almost like they just wanted to get rid of you.
well then,
I don't see why, we have to go today. So sure, if we wanna, we could go tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd like
Can,
to. Yes.
can we take a potty break?
Bio break.
I thought you meant in game.